Welcome in, everybody, to the Wood TV Plus studio. I'm Phil Pinarski. Joining me today is Zach Avery. He is our digital lifestyle content producer. And Zach, we're bringing everybody a brand new show here on Wood TV Plus. It is all about the weekend planner. You may have seen it if you've been watching our newscast. Every Thursday, we go over some of the top events that you can check out all across West Michigan. So now that we have this new platform, Wood TV Plus, we decided why not talk about all of the events on this week's weekend planner, or at least most of them, and giving everybody kind of a glimpse at what they can do in West Michigan, especially now that it's spring break right now. You don't have to travel far to find a lot of fun, Zach, and there is a ton on this week's weekend planner to check out.
I can't wait to get started. I'm so happy to be here to talk about the weekend. This is kind of what I do here. You know,
Right.
I find interesting events and try to share it with people. So I'm happy we can take some time and really, dive into some really fun activities this weekend.
Absolutely. Could not have picked a better co-host for this show, Zach. Let's talk about this first event. I'm really excited about it. It is over at Robinette's. And I know what you might be thinking if you're watching this. Robinette's is closed for the season. Well, no. For this weekend and next weekend, they are going to be doing some pop-up donut days where you can check out some of the delicious donuts, kind of get that fix as you wait for the season to open up over at Robinette's. Again, it's happening this Saturday and next Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon. But I've been told that you want to head out there a little bit early because they do plan to sell out pretty quickly, as you can imagine how popular Robinette's is. Zach, have you ever been out there before?
I love it out there.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And, I'm like a lot of people, I go out during the fall.
Right.
But I'm very excited to hear that they do stuff year round.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's perfect for the fall, but again, perfect as we approach the springtime as well. Let's go ahead now and take a look at an interview that I had with Alan Robinette. He was talking all about the event and how excited he is to be bringing it to everybody. Alan Robinette from Robinette's joins us now. Alan, thank you so much for stopping by today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, we had to because a very big deal is coming to Robinette's, not just this weekend, but also next weekend. We also wanted to make sure that we mentioned that. It's the fact that pop-up donut days are back. This is the chance for everybody to kind of get that taste of fall as we approach the spring season. I know it really doesn't feel like that outside right now here in West Michigan, but Alan, how excited are you guys to be able to bring this opportunity to so many people who love Robinette's?
Well, working with customers is one of my favorite parts of the job. So it's good to have people back. It'll be good to have people back and buying donuts and enjoying spring as we're getting ready here for what's shaping up to be a beautiful spring. I know it's a little bit late, but that's okay. We like that as fruit growers.
Absolutely, definitely. And again, I wanted to ask about, the Donut Days pop-up because obviously a lot of people are excited, myself included, very excited to get a chance to try these donuts in the not fall season. But why was this something that you guys really wanted to bring out, again, as we approach the spring season?
Well, so what we were looking at is part of the reason we're doing this is we're hosting a 5K running event both this weekend and next. And so those have been on the books for a long time. So we knew that we were going to have people on the farm already. And we said, well, why not just open the doors, bring people in and give them what they want.
Right. So people who are taking part in this 5K, they're going to get the chance, after they're running to try out some of these donuts. But you don't have to be part of the 5K, right? You can just show up to Robinette's and get a chance to taste out some of these donuts.
That's correct. We'll be open 8 to noon, which is obviously shorter than our normal hours, but we wanted to accommodate the race and give time for people to get down there and get some donuts. And of course, enjoy our lovely spring weather that we got coming.
Probably a good idea to get there as close as you can to 8 a.m. when you guys first open up. I can imagine that there's going to be a lot of people showing up to this, right?
Oh, we're hopeful. So we've seen a lot of interest online. I know I'm excited. I've been missing our donuts as well, just as much as anybody.
Right. I was going to ask, even when you guys are closed, you still don't get a chance to really try them out, though, even though you probably have a better idea about those secret recipes than the rest of us.
Yeah, it's if we don't have customers at the farm, then we're not making donuts. And I don't think I'm addicted, but I find myself having a hole in my life if there's no donuts.
It's hard not to be addicted to those Robinette's donuts, right?
That's right.
All right. All right. Well, Alan, you mentioned that social media is really talking about this event. I'm very excited about Robinette's opening back up. But I was also paying attention to a lot of the comments, and they're asking about what kind of donuts can they expect over at Robinette's this weekend and next. If you wouldn't mind, do you have a list of maybe just some of the donuts people can try out?
Yeah, so we'll have a lot of the favorites. Pumpkin spice we won't have. We're just because it's a compressed amount of time that requires completely switching out the batter. So we're just going to focus on our main ones. So cinnamon sugar, we've got chocolate with sprinkles. We'll have some cookies and pastries as well. So a little bit more limited than what people are used to in the fall, but a lot of the favorites are going to be there. We'll have cider, We'll have cider slush. We'll have some wine available. Our winery will be open at the same time as well.
All right, great. Well, I mean, I know you probably can't get, those pumpkin spice donuts or maybe some of those specialty ones, but I got to say the chocolate with sprinkles, that's my personal favorite donut. Alan, do you have one? It doesn't have to be one that might be available, but do you have a favorite donut? You mentioned that, you kind of feel like you have a hole in your life right now.
Yeah, chocolate is my favorite. And
Yeah.
there's a little secret we have as Robinettes. The proper way to eat a chocolate donut is to eat it upside down. That way the chocolate hits your tongue first.
Oh, genius. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to give that a try out either this weekend or next, with all these opportunities that we've got. And that kind of leads me to this final question for you, Alan, is that a lot of people are already, they've got it circled on their calendars. They're super excited about this. They've known about it ever since you guys first posted that you guys were bringing these donut pop-up days back this weekend and next. But there might be some people that this is their first time hearing it, and maybe they've never even been to Robinette's or tried out some of these donuts. For those people, I mean, people that are still on the fence about showing up to this event, what would you tell them to get them out to Robinette's this weekend?
Well, it's a little bit of a preview. So our full reopening date for the season will be June 2. But this is a good opportunity to come and experience Robinette's before we really get into the swing of things, before we have our sweet cherries and our apples and peaches. But really, I'm excited the most for the weather. It looks to be almost 60 degrees and sunny this Saturday. So it'll be a perfect day for a race, perfect day to come and try donuts. And if you're not here racing, you're certainly welcome to take a look at our orchards. The buds on the trees are starting to swell, so it's looking to be a good spring, and it's going to be a beautiful day.
Absolutely. I love that. Well, we're very excited about it. Again, you can check out the pop-up donut days at Robinette's this weekend and next weekend. We've got more information for you right now over on our website, woodtv.com, inside this week's weekend planner. Alan, thank you so much for stopping by today. We so do appreciate it.
Thanks for taking the time for me.
Of course. I'm so excited, Zach. I even just during that conversation with Alan, I was, kind of salivating a little bit, just thinking about those donuts. And I just want to remind everybody that apple cider and some of their select wines will also be available for purchasing there at Robinette's as well. So again, if you've got time this weekend, especially in the morning, you've got a hankering for donuts, it's probably the place to be, right?
It sounds delicious. I can hardly wait.
Definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to another event that a lot of people have circled on their calendars. I'm sure of that. And that is Lantern Fest over at John Ball Zoo. It's back for a fourth year. It actually opened up on Wednesday, but it's going to be going all throughout the month of April, really all the way to May 17th. So you do have plenty of time to go ahead and check it out, whether it's just one time or multiple times. And again, this is a really awesome event. They have partnered for this fourth year with Tianu Arts and Culture. They are the ones who kind of design these different lanterns. Zach, again, just a very visual event. If you're looking for something that really just will take up a whole evening, I mean, this is the place to be.
It's really breathtaking. They have new sculptures each and every year, and it's a fun way to explore John Ball Zoo when it's a little bit darker outside. You can appreciate all the lights and these cool art pieces. There's a lot of new stuff coming to John Ball Zoo this year, so it seems like a great way to reintroduce yourself with the group.
Yeah, definitely. And, again, if I've seen it before in person, the amount of times I've gone to John Ball Zoo, I've been able to check them out, but I haven't been at night. I think I'm really missing out on seeing them totally lit up, glowing in the night. I mean, I feel like that's really the thing to do. And if you are interested in checking that out, of course, you do have to grab your tickets online. They are on sale now. They go for about $22. Even if you're a member, you still need to grab your tickets separately from that. And of course, the event goes from 7:30 to 10:30 each night during the duration of Lantern Fest. So you get chances to, again, see the zoo in a whole different light, with no light pretty much besides from those lanterns.
If you've never been, I would absolutely recommend going. It's an incredible experience, very different from the dayside attractions. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Zach, moving on to an event that you actually covered pretty extensively already. That is the Michigan Music Alliance's Music Econ Summit. It's happening over at Bamboo GR this coming Saturday. It used to be that building, the Bamboo GR, it used to be the Kendall College of Art building in downtown Grand Rapids, just for everybody who maybe doesn't know about the transfer over to that. Zach, talk to us a little bit about what the Michigan Music Alliance really is.
Yeah, sure. So this is a statewide nonprofit. They put on professional development events and conferences for up-and-coming musical artists, but also people already firmly in the industry. And this Music Econ Summit is a morning and afternoon sort of convention where there's going to be breakout sessions, Q&A, a little bit of networking. If you are a musical artist, whether you're new to the scene or you've been around for a while, this is definitely a great event to just meet people and to learn more about Michigan music.
Zach, you actually have an interview for us as well. Who'd you talk to?
I spoke with the executive director of the Michigan Music Alliance, and he's very excited. Nicholas is excited to see all these familiar faces and sort of introduce the industry to the Grand Rapids people who are coming out and learning about Michigan music.
Yeah, another great event. Let's go ahead and check out that interview now with Zach and Nicholas.
Well, Nicholas, I know that the Music Econ Summit is happening just this Saturday at Bamboo Grand Rapids downtown. Can you tell me a little bit about the Music Econ Summit and what people can look forward to if they were to attend?
Yeah, the Music Econ Summit is a one-day music business conference focused on the local Michigan music industry. So we've got a full day of workshops, panel discussions, mentor sessions, and networking opportunities to connect the Michigan music community.
Okay, very cool. I know that the event is put on in part by the Michigan Music Alliance, which you're the executive director of. Can you tell me a little bit about the work you do with the Alliance and how this event fits in your goal?
Yeah, the Michigan Music Alliance is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that provides professional development and networking opportunities for the Michigan music community. And we do this by putting on like business conferences such as this, as well as webinars and events designed to connect people. And so the Music Econ Summit was founded 3 years ago by Monk Duncan, and he invited the Michigan Music Alliance to be a part of it, and then handed it over to us and said, all right, this is like your thing, run with it. So we're in our third year of the Music Econ Summit, and we scaled back this year to a one-day event so that we can really focus on just the business.
Okay. Well, I know that the event, you're right, it's just one day, it's morning and afternoon. Can you sort of lay out what the schedule of the day looks like for maybe people who are hearing about the event and haven't been before?
Sure. We have our opening keynote at 9:30 in the morning with local music aficionado John Sinkovich of Local Spins. And then followed by that, there are 3 different sessions. And so different panel discussions and workshops during the sessions. We also have lunches included from Taste Buds Catering. And then we'll close out the day with a workshop from the Mechanical Licensing Collective on how songs actually make money.
Interesting. Can you tell me more about the breakout sessions and the different sort of topics or lectures people will be discussing?
Yeah, there's everything from like the art of songwriting to preparing to record, as well as a panel on, it's called Things You Didn't Know You Need to Know. There's another panel that's called Help Us Help You that has a bunch of music industry experts giving advice on how best to get booked and how to get noticed for your talents. And then we're also having installations like headshots provided by Chelsea Whitaker Photography. So if you come to the summit, you can walk away with a new headshot. And we're getting into the AI conversation a little bit, not with music creation tools, but with supplements that musicians can use to make their jobs easier.
Okay, interesting. How do tickets work for the event? How much does it cost?
Tickets are available on our website at michiganmusicalliance.org, and registration is $50. Unless you're under age 25 or a student anywhere, then we have $10 student tickets.
Okay, good to know. Well, great. Do you have any sort of last words of encouragement for folks who hear about the Music Econ Summit, why they should buy a ticket online and attend?
Well, here's the thing about our community is that as large of a city as Grand Rapids is and as big of a state as Michigan is, it's all connected. So when you come to the Music Econ Summit, you'll be in the room with people who work at music venues, recording studios, the podcasters, professional photographers, and then a lot of other musicians. So I'd say definitely like bring your business cards, pass them out, meet as many people as you can, and then follow up once you get home because you never know who you're going to be sitting next to.
Well, great. Thank you so much, Nicholas.
All right, great interview, Zach. And again, another exciting event that people can check out. It's a little bit different than maybe some of these other events we've talked about, which is why we wanted to include it in this week's Weekend Planner. Again, tickets are available, everybody. And Zach also has a full-scale article on just this event outside of the Weekend Planner that you can check out right now over on our website, woodtv.com. Moving on to the next event. Again, we've got a lot to get to today. Baseball is back here in West Michigan as the Whitecaps return to LMCU Ballpark. They began a series against the Great Lakes Loons earlier this week, and it's going to be going all weekend long. Plenty of chances to catch the Whitecaps, Zach. I mean, LMCU Ballpark, springtime baseball. It doesn't really get any better than that.
I love it. I was so excited. The season's starting off again. It feels like it's really welcoming in spring. I mean, we got to explore the new concession menu. Right. It's a lot of delicious new food. There's some upgraded seating at LMCU Ballpark now. It's really a great time to go see the Whitecaps play.
Yeah, also worth pointing out that on Thursday's game, it's $2 hot dogs and $2 sodas. And also on Sunday's game, kids eat for free during that. So again, you're going to be able to try out some of those new concession stand items. And we, of course, got a chance to try that out. Zach, I mean, there were a couple of different items up there that I think could have been my favorite. I mean, which one was yours?
I love the salted caramel pretzel. Oh, yeah. I thought that was delicious. I could imagine myself just relaxing in my seat, watching baseball and enjoying it. Well, what about you?
Yeah, it had to be that fried pickle quesadilla. It's one of the most unique things I think I've ever had. But if you like fried pickles, if you like cheese, I mean, that is right up your alley. And especially, these games, kind of cold out right now here in West Michigan. That's sure to keep everybody warm.
Yeah, true. And even though it's a little bit cold, the players are still ready to play. You can still enjoy yourself.
Definitely. All right, Zach, another event that we're really excited about. It's a mock competition over at Bricks and Minifigs. And again, people might be wondering, what is a mock competition? Well, I was mispronouncing it the whole time during this interview that I had with Julia Peterson, the owner of Bricks and Minifigs. It's actually, I was saying MOC, but it is mock. Mock stands for My Own Creation. So guests are going to be able to come on down to Bricks and Minifigs and really create their very own Lego item set, whatever they want based on a theme. And the winners will actually receive some pretty cool prizes as well. Like I said, I've got an interview with Julia Peterson over at Bricks and Minifigs. Let's take a listen to that now. Julia, thank you so much for stopping by today. We so do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Glad to be here.
We cannot thank you enough for stopping by because we have got to talk about this awesome event that's happening this Saturday over at Bricks and Minifigs. It's called an MOC competition. I guess that's going to be my first question for you, Julia. What is an MOC competition?
Yeah, there's a lot of lingo that comes with Lego. So there's even dictionaries about it. So it's actually a mock. So it's pronounced mock. And it stands for there you go. It stands for My Own Creation. So it's anything that you're building out of Lego that isn't an official Lego set where you're creating the build. So this is a My Own Creation competition.
Oh, I love that. And I'm glad that I now know the proper way to pronounce mock.
That's right.
And again, it's happening on Saturday, but it's going on really all day. So people will have a chance to really stop in and make their own creations. It's kind of a drop-in sort of event. It is free for everybody to attend. Julie, if you wouldn't mind just kind of explaining, though, what's really going to be happening on Saturday. There's going to be a lot of bodies moving in and out, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's really popular. People love this event. You get to come by. We will provide all the bricks that you need. We'll have a secret theme. I'm not going to say anything about it today so that everybody has the same chance on Saturday. And you get to build whatever you want. And then we have a couple options. You can either just build it and be done if you just want to have the fun of that. You can build it and enter it into our competition, at which point we'll take a picture of it and we'll make sure we have your details. You can also buy it and take it home, but that is not required. So if you want to just drop by, build something, enter into the competition, great. We'll have lots of spots for building. It does occasionally get busy, so there can occasionally be a little bit of a wait, but for the most part, you'll be able to get in and just build whatever you want.
Absolutely. That just sounds like fun. No matter what kind of your skill level is with Lego. Again, there are different competition levels out there, different categories that people are going to be participating in. I mean, it's going to be a really awesome time. And you mentioned that, doing these in the past, how popular it is. And that's something I really wanted to ask you about, Julia. Every time I do a story on Lego, I've got to ask you, what is it about Lego that you think really draws people in and also kind of drew yourself into it as well?
Yeah, I think what's great about Lego is that it's a very approachable creativity tool. So you don't really need a class. You don't really need an introduction. Everybody knows how to pick up one of those bricks and connect them. And so anybody can really get started, and it allows people to be creative, to have fun without there being a lot of learning and on-ramp. So I personally was a teacher of creativity and innovation. And it's one of my favorite tools when I want to just relax. I can paint, I can take photos, but all of those take a little bit more work. Lego, you just dive in, you get to have fun, and you can start creating.
Absolutely. And I know you mentioned earlier that there is a secret theme to this mock competition this time around. I'm not going to push you too hard on releasing any secrets about that theme, but I do want to talk about some of the things you guys are going to be looking at in these creations. What are some things that you guys are going to be judging for everybody's creations? Just some things for everybody that plans on going there can kind of keep in the back of their mind when they are deciding everything. Again, it's going to be pretty packed in there. It's going to be a little busy. So again, any prep work that people can get ahead of time is always appreciated.
Yep. So I will give a small hint. We always make sure the theme fits with the season that we're in. So we're not going to give you a winter build in April.
All right.
That's your hint. And then I'm going to flip the script. We actually aren't the judges. So what's going to happen is all of these votes are going to go to social media. And we will have voting open for about 3 days, and y'all get to vote on who wins. We have 3 categories. We have our KFOLs, that stands for Kid Fan of Legos, and that is going to be 5 to 12. We have our TFOLs, Teen Fan of Legos, that's going to be 13 to 17, and then 18 plus AFOL, Adult Fan of Lego. So we're going to put those categories out. Everybody can vote in each category, choose their top votes, and then we will award first, second, and third place in each category. So a total of 9 prizes. But we're not the ones that decides. Grand Rapids gets to decide that. Y'all get to vote.
Yeah, it's the people who get to have their voices heard in this competition. Yep, I love that, Julia. And, of course, there are going to be 3 winners in each category, 9 total winners. That means 9 total prizes. If you wouldn't mind going over what these winners can expect to get if they are chosen in this mock competition.
Yeah, so for first place for each bracket is going to be $50 in-store credit. Buy whatever you like, indulge in something, get that fig that you've been looking for. Second place, $25 in-store credit. And the third place is going to be a free minifig of your choice up to $15. So you can choose from our cases and get yourself a free minifig.
Oh, I love that. Awesome. Again, plenty of things to check out. It's going to be an awesome, awesome time this weekend. We're so excited to kind of see what people decide to create. I guess that brings me to my final question for you, Julia. Obviously, there is a lot of excitement about this event, not just from the people there, but also, I'm sure, for you guys over at Bricks and Minifigs. What do you really hope, though, that people, no matter who they are, no matter how familiar they are with Legos, what do you hope they really get out of this event?
Yeah, just like everything in the store, we started the store to connect Lego people to Lego people and to give more access to Lego in Grand Rapids and to have creativity happen. So that's why we love this event. You get to meet new people. You get to just have some fun. It's free. You get to just tinker around whatever you want to do. It's not, any high pressure situation. And we just hope people have fun and get to be creative. That's the goal.
I love that. All right, awesome. Well, Julia, it was great seeing you again. Thank you so much for stopping by. And I do want to remind everybody real quick, though, that if you've got any more questions or you just want to know a little bit more information about Bricks and Minifigs or the mock competition happening this weekend, we've got it all for you inside this week's Weekend Planner over on woodtv.com. Julia, one last time, thank you so much for stopping by today. We so do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
That's the perfect event if you do love Legos or you just like, expressing yourself creatively a little bit. Again, it is happening on Saturday from 11 to 5. The best part is you just have to drop in whenever and they handle the rest, really. You can also, of course, take your creation home with you. And of course, all ages are welcome in that one. All right, Zach, last event we want to cover today. It's a big one. It's the fact that Lion King is coming to Grand Rapids. It's going to be happening over at DeVos Performance Hall. Zach's excited about it. I'm super excited about it. Of course, the award-winning musical. Everybody is, of course, familiar with the movie, the animated film from Disney. But again, this musical really takes it a whole other step, I think, up. And again, it's happening at DeVos Performance Hall from April 8th all the way to April 26th. And Miranda was actually in Seattle when they were performing out there. It's going to be the same cast that was out there coming to Grand Rapids and performing for all of us. And she sat down with an exclusive interview with the actors who play Nala and Simba this time around. So why don't we go ahead and check that out?
We are here at the Paramount Theater in Seattle. Our crew has traveled here with Broadway Grand Rapids to get a sneak peek at what families can expect when this exact production rolls into Grand Rapids in April. Let's head backstage to see what families can expect. Let's talk about costuming. So we'll start with you, Nala. Tell me a little bit about what you're wearing.
I'm wearing a carbon fiber puppet, which is super lightweight, and thermoplast that is like molded onto my head. The heaviest piece of costume that I wear is the corset. It weighs about 13, 14 pounds. So it's really interesting. You go through all of the training and then you suddenly put on the corset and now you're 13 pounds heavier. But one of the things about it is just the physicality of it all. Because the show draws on so many influences from so many different parts of the world and different cultures, we have these amazing Balinese and Javanese instructors that come in and teach us all of these movements. So it feels weird at first, but like once you put it on, you watch the puppet come to life because of all of those movements. So
And you know what? It really takes me like 2 minutes, and I'm believing you're the real thing.
Oh yeah. It feels crazy at first because you're moving your head in these motions, but then once the puppet is on, you watch how doing all of that brings the puppet to life. So it's one of the most beautiful things that I love about doing this role.
All right, tell me a little bit about what you're wearing.
I also have a huge mask on top of my head, and my corset is not as heavy, but it's just as snug. And it's so beautiful and hand beaded. It takes forever to create. So many hours go into putting that beautiful corset together that I'm wearing.
So how did you learn to move like the animal and to become that and to interact with another animal?
Training with our instructor, learning the Balinese and the Javanese movement. We have all of this like influence that comes into the show, into this role, into this movement that you see that is so great on stage.
Speaking of movement, I was kind of scared by Scar. Are you guys ever scared by Scar?
I think it's one moment that
You
Nala
stand
is
up to
getting
him.
Scar. Yes, and once she realizes the gravity of the situation, she has no choice but to like stand up to him. And once that moment happens, I feel like that's the moment that changes everything for Nala. So
I wanted to stand up and cheer and say, "You go, girl."
not scared of him. I could take him any day.
What about you?
No, I don't. Simba's not afraid of Scar. He's come back to take what is rightfully his, and his father has given him the strength and the courage to do so. So now it's like game on.
Well, I definitely feel that you are empowered when you step up there and you're like, "This is mine." Out.
Absolutely, and it feels so. I feel so powerful in that moment because I'm again taking what is mine belongs to me, and I now have full divine support in going to get what is mine.
It's captivating. The music is phenomenal. The choreography and the costumes are out of this world. It's such a great story, and the actors portraying each part are doing a phenomenal job so far.
I think it's great. I think I really like the opening one. I think that kind of bring everyone into tears. And I also like, I think, the theme of the circle of life. I think that kind of bring a serious topic, but to a childhood manner. So I think it's a really great one. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I like all the dancing and all the animals.
I thought it's fantastic. The costumes, the acting, the singing, it's amazing. We're fans of the performing arts, so we'll be back again.
I grew up with the movie, The Lion King. I've watched it about 5 million times. I saw the show here in 2014, I think it was, and I'm just really excited to be back.
For me, it's like, the music is unparalleled. I've seen it on Broadway, and so I know that I haven't seen it here, but I know that it's a very special performance to see live, and the way that the theater really comes to life. You can't just see it once. You want to come back for more.
You can do anything. You can do anything you put your mind to, and don't be afraid of anything because you have the power.
For the longest time, the world has, kind of taught girls to show up differently. And I feel like with Nala, she gives me permission to be strong, to be brave, to be courageous, to take the lead, to be the one to step up and say, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And so I'm going to step up and be the one to create the change and create the world that I want to see around me.
And you do it in such a cool and classy way. You inspire us all. They inspire us. The Lion King musical will inspire you. Check it out. Broadway Grand Rapids coming into West Michigan in April. I cannot wait.
And in the words of our great Mandrel Rafiki, that means it will make you wiser.
I love it. Make it a great day where you live.
And again, tickets are still on sale. With that, you can check them out right now inside this week's weekend planner. Zach, the entire time I was talking to Miranda about her trip out there, I could just think and just hear all the music from The Lion King in my head. Do you have a favorite Lion King song?
I think it has to be Hakuna Matata.
Yeah,
just because if you even say the words, it's in my head the rest of the
I'm
day.
already singing it in my head right now. Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, Circle of Life is great, I think. That's got to be the main one. Every time you hear like that intro, song.
Right.
I mean, that's exactly, get your heart rate kind of going, get you excited about watching The Lion King.
It's iconic. I mean,
absolutely.
the movie's amazing. The musical is going to be great. I can't wait.
Yeah, if you haven't gotten a chance to do it, highly encourage you to go ahead and check it out. Again, you've got multiple chances to check it out. It runs all the way through April 26th, again, over at DeVos Performance Hall. That's going to do it for our very first edition of the Weekend Planner Show right here on Wood TV Plus. I do want to thank Zach so much for stopping by and joining me today. We'll see you again next week with another Weekend Planner to go over.